Welcome back to Everything Money. We're glad you joined us. In this video, you will learn the financials and fundamentals behind the company that is AT&T. We will use our exclusive Everything Money software to show you this and see if the ticker price, the stock price, is in line or undervalued with this company's performance in general. We will head over to Trader Mo and see what people are doing with this wonderful Dividend company that it's merging with Discovery. It's doing a lot of new things. Mo will show you those charts. But first, I welcome you to the channel. I am you. I bring normal person questions. Paul, one of our biggest videos was I brought what's going on with AT&T because my mother worked there for 50 years. I bring your questions to a couple of wealthy guys that manage $100 million in stocks, in real estate, and businesses, 8 or 9 businesses. Paul, I have two other businesses myself. We bring you these questions now. In this video, you learn everything you need to know about AT&T and what you should be paying for this stock moving forward. Paul, I welcome you in. AT&T is always one of the fan favorites. We get requested this on a daily, and it's time to update it.
Yeah,
Your
this
thoughts?
will blow up our company or our channel.
Yep, go ahead.
So guys, first off, follow us on Instagram. We have a new Everything Money account, and follow us personally because our mothers are very proud for us whenever we report our number of Instagram followers.
Yes.
So guys, here's our exclusive Everything Money software. We're going to go to the 8 Pillars tab. Type in AT&T.
Now, AT&T obviously is battling with Verizon. They have all the commercials, and that model, Mo, she is a smoke show. I'm in love with her.
She is very cute.
Yes, you are.
Are you in love with her?
My wife knows this. I just love everything about this gal.
Talked about this woman.
What's her name?
At least 5 times in the past week.
Lily? On the show, on the commercial, she's Lily. But what's her real name?
Well, you know, Paul, they hide her. They put sweaters all over, and they hide her behind a desk.
She's
watch the commercials. They always hide her to give her a mom look, but when she gets off these commercials, she is a...
Let's look her up.
Okay.
Lily
From she's some
AT&T.
Eastern Russian gal.
Oh, Milana Weintraub.
Oh, look at that name. I mean, look at Paul.
At this.
Look at this. She
we have to show this.
She is.
This is the exclusive
she's gorgeous.
material that
I love
you
this
get.
girl. Yeah. This
wow, look at this.
This
one.
is the exclusive stock info you'll get from us.
like
Yeah, Paul.
stock.
She's great. Yeah, keep going, Paul. All right, go back to AT&T. I can't even look at her. I'm distracted.
So, okay, guys. So this is our exclusive Everything Money software. AT&T market cap 183 billion. Our very first pillar. We take 5-year PE ratio. Why don't just go look at 1 year? I like to look at 5 years. We want it less than 22.5. It's 12.2. A massive check mark. And that's with last year being really high. Pillar number 2. We want the 5-year return on invested capital being greater than 9%.
This is ROIC, Paul.
Now, it's 5.2. That's an X. This basically takes a calculation of how they generate their free cash over the last 5 years in relation to their equity and debt within the company. So how are they able to generate money on the money that is invested in the business? So not very good. So far, 1 check, 1 X. What's their dividend yield now? It's dropped, right?
Yes.
So this is inaccurate right now, but the goal is we look at their 5-year free cash flow. This is pretty solid. They have really good free cash flow over the last 5 years. They can easily support their dividend, is my point. Pillar number 3, we want to see income growth over the last 5 years. 160.7 to 173.6, check mark. Now, one thing I'll note, big jump to 182. Guys, companies this large make a lot of acquisitions and they sell off a lot of divisions. So make sure you're watching that in the cash flow statement. These are one of the things you can use in our exclusive software. It'll show you where the acquisitions and dispositions are. Pillar number 4, net income growth over the last 5 years. Now, it's an X because they had some big write-offs. So look, last year they only made $1.16 billion. So I'm going to scroll up here to see what happened. Special income charges. They had a $21 billion write-off. What did we decide that was?
It was the satellite thing. Dish.
Discovery?
No.
Oh, Dish Network?
Dish Network.
Okay.
Or whatever. Yeah, DirecTV.
DirecTV.
There
Sorry, thank you. So they wrote off their DirecTV investment. That's not a cash expense, and you'll see that cash flow statement. Now, guys, pillar number 5 is one of the most underrated metrics in investing. We look at the shares outstanding. We want to see the shares outstanding decreasing. Why is that? Because if you're as a shareholder, if you own 10 shares of a company out of 100, you own 10% of the business. If they decrease that 100 shares down to 80, you still own your 10 shares, but now it's out of 80 shares and not 100. So you own more of the company. The exact opposite happens when they're issuing more shares, not to be confused with a stock split. Issuing more shares to do other things, finance the business, you're being diluted. So we want to see shares outstanding going down. 6.16 to 6.17. That's an X. And I'm sure, though, when I look at these numbers, because all of these numbers tell a story, there was probably some sort of acquisition here that happened where they use shares to buy that. So it's not as big a deal here because the year after they had 7.28 and they went down to 7.17. So they're still buying back shares relative to that.
So, of course, Paul, AT&T and Discovery are merging. They're combining Warner Media's premium entertainment and Discovery's leading nonfiction and international entertainment into this new standalone company. So this is exciting news moving forward for AT&T, right, Mo?
Okay.
I love it.
Okay, so pillar number 6 is our debt.
Yeah, this involves the debt of a company. And obviously, folks, if there's a massive correction or a crash, we want to make sure AT&T can withstand this. If they owe too much, Paul, they may not.
Well, it's not about the crash in the stock price. It's about economically. If there's a recession, companies that have less debt will survive the recession, right? So what I do is I go to our software, very easy, main page. Right here, 5-year average free cash flow. I multiply it by 5. And that's $117 billion. I don't know. Is that what it is? Yeah. I want their long-term liabilities to be less than $117 billion.
Jesus, that is 117, Paul. How do you get the fraction? You get the decimal point? Keep going.
Yeah, quant.
I was a virgin until I was 38.
That's why you can do all that math. The Everything Money quant, everybody.
So we go to the balance sheet on the Everything Money software. We scroll all the way to the bottom. $284 billion of debt. Oh, my Lord.
Is that a lot, Paul?
That's a ton.
Well, they got to pay Russian models to do their commercials.
Look at this pension liability. It's still $14 billion. It used to be $21 billion. Jeez,
Almost
OP.
as much as Evergrande.
Oh, my God. So anyways, guys, they got a lot of debt. I don't like that very much. It's over double. That's bad.
Okay.
Finally, guys, the cash flow statement. This is the big mamma jamma.
Pillar number 7.
So, guys, free cash flow is cash from operations less your capital expenditures. Use that to pay dividends, buy back shares, make acquisitions, and pay down debt. This is the true health of the business. I go here. I added, because I'm a nice guy, to our exclusive Everything Money software, the 5-year average free cash flow and the free cash flow underneath this area. This is not available on any other software. It's on other softwares in other areas. I add it right here. 15.7 to 25 billion. Check mark there. The next step is I take the 5-year average free cash flow and I multiply by 20 to get some sort of market cap for the company that I want to pay. Is this set in stone? No. 23.46 times 20 is $470 billion. What's the market cap of AT&T?
183.
Yeah, it's freaking ridiculous. So it's a check mark. And guys, let's go to the 8 pillars tab here. Look at how insane this is. So shares outstanding, not worried about because they made acquisitions. I do worry about this debt level. That's a lot. Net income growth, that's not a big deal to me because they had the one-time write-off, so I'm not worried about that. ROIC, this is something to consider. Don't pay a big premium for it, but guys, look at this. 5-year PE and the 5-year free cash flow. This is so low. One thing I want to see from AT&T, guys, I want to see them buying back shares. I'm glad they pulled back their dividend. I want to see them buying back shares because this has been a dead stock. One way to get people's excitement, reduce those shares, give them a bigger piece of the pie.
Buy back shares, pay down that debt, and what I would like to see is that return on invested capital number over the next couple of years go up.
Yeah, well, that's going to be hard for a big company like that.
Right, but they've done a very poor job.
So the next question is, how do you get all this information? Guys, we created the software because our users, our subscribers were saying, hey, how do I do my own analysis without having to wait for you to make every single video? So we created the software. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. We made it. You get everything here. You get it on a desktop or mobile app. It's everything here is on the mobile app. You can do everything here. You get daily content exclusive to our subscribers, 2 or 3 videos a day. We call it A Few Good Minutes, where we just sit there and talk. You get access to most Seth and I. You get Real Estate Analyzer. You get news. Everything on this page is all coming. All of this is coming. You get all of this for only 90 cents per day. Guys, if you're serious about your financial future, 90 cents per day, if you're just able to increase your returns by 1 or 2% a year, it'll make you hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars in retirement. This is a no-brainer. And our community of 6,000 people, you can get in the chat and talk to them about all these ideas and spitball ideas because you're probably like all of us, probably like Seth here and Mo and I, we don't have many people to talk to about investing. Why? Because this world is small here, but when you go to the internet, it's much bigger. All of this for only 90 cents per day. It's a no-brainer, less than a cup of coffee. 2 ways to sign up, everythingmoney.com or Patreon. You'll get the same access within minutes from either one, but the benefit of everythingmoney.com is you don't get double charged in the first month like you do on Patreon, and you don't get charged a sales tax because we're not big enough yet to charge sales tax. So you save money. This is a no-brainer.
Paul, and when we got our first cell phones back in the late 1900s, you recall, this company soared, and its stock price was upwards of $60. And of course, 22 years later, it is a third of that almost. This is one of those companies where if you overbought the hype, and
what year was this?
This was 99.
So let's look at their revenue in 99.
Oh, I love this.
The revenue in 99 was $52 billion. $40 billion in 98. And look at it now. It's 4 times larger. So if I told you in 1999 that this company would have 4 times more revenue, and you would have said to me, Paul, there's no way the stock is going to be lower. And guess what?
You never made a penny.
It's half the price.
Besides
It's less than half the price.
You just lost it.
Because if you overpay, that's what happens, guys. Overpaying is what that does.
If you're looking to trade AT&T or other companies, you can join the Bidnass Nation in our community. That's the top-tier trading nation. Over 900 folks trading on a daily and weekly basis. And Mo is their fearless leader. Mo, what's going on with AT&T? Look at that, way below down there.
So we're in unprecedented territory. I don't know the last time that this stock was at $25 a share. It's been a long time. But what we have here, this was the beginning of COVID, and this was the fall. This is the fall. So we basically draw that line. This is your 50% quintessential 50% stock where you have that middle ground that you cannot get above because you need volume. And unfortunately for AT&T, there's not a lot of volume on a consistent basis. So the stock price falls down here, you try to climb back, and it falls back down. It just keeps hitting that resistance point. So what would I say to do right now? Historically, in my trading history, this has always been a really, really great stock to trade because when it catches a trend, it moves up very slowly over a long period of time and can make you a lot of money. So right now, I would say throw a tracker share on this. You fell down through the sweet spot. It's definitely a dog stock. Buy one share, $25.50. Worst case scenario, this company goes out of business and you lose $25.50. That's literally the worst case. Mm-hmm. The idea of the tracker share is to put this share in your brokerage account. You see it every single day. So as soon as this thing starts turning up and enters the sweet spot, you're the first one to enter it, and you can make this climb. So this is the best way to go ahead and trade AT&T, in my opinion. I see what's happening in the background. But
Paul, final take. Final take on AT&T and their smoke show spokesperson.
Lily, Seth and I are asking you to pick who are you going to go out with, Seth or myself. I will give you free access to the Everything Money software if you agree to go out on a date with us.
I'll give her much more, Paul.
Is this allowed? Am I propositioning this woman right now?
Are you going to give her Lucy too?
She can join us on
my Luce. Who's prettier? Her or her? Give me a break. No brainer.
Lily, you're welcome to join us on the show to discuss.
Somebody watching knows Lily.
Yes.
I mean, somebody watching has to know Lily. Get me your phone number. I'm just kidding around. I don't really.
Join us on the show. You can discuss. I make promotional videos, of course, and you can make one with Paul in his new mansion. You're welcome. And,
in Akron, Ohio.
Flashy.
Nothing speaks sexy like a mansion in Akron, Ohio.
What if she was the Everything Money spokesperson, Paul?
I'm sure she makes. What do you think she makes a year working for AT&T, being their spokesperson? $5 million?
Imagine the show where it's just the three of us. We hire Lily, pay her way more than me. She just serves us drinks, walks through our shots, just kind of smiles and winks at the camera every once in a while, Paul.
We don't have as much debt as them, so it might work.
I mean, Paul, you have more money than AT&T currently has.
That's probably true.
Well, that's our take, folks. We'll get her on the show. Her name's not really, it's Melania.
Milana Vaintrub.
Oh, boy.
I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I love you.
Call us.
Call us.
440.
Let's give him like one of our friends' numbers. Let's give him Kyle's number.
Yeah.
That's our take. Fondle the thumbs up. We'll see you next video.
Thanks a lot. Bye.